I accidentally hit my hand before starting this recording. What's going on, everybody? I'm sorry. What's going on, everybody? Today is going to be a super exciting episode for me to record because I have two new pieces of equipment that I am very excited to actually put into my tank. And I got them right here. So, what we got in here is a Fluval UVC clearer. Now, what I bought this for, what I bought this for was because I came home to my saltwater tank being absolutely chocked full of cyanobacteria. I know it's good for like cleaning your water and like getting rid of algae floating in the water and what have you and whatnot, but I have no idea if it's any good for cyanobacteria because I looked and looked and looked at forums and posts for like 2 hours, and I cannot confirm or deny whether or not this gets rid of cyanobacteria in saltwater, but today we find out. Well, in a month's time we find out. But maybe we'll find out today for you, dear viewer. You know what? Nah, I'll just make a separate video about it. But one day we will find out whether or not this actually gets rid of the cyanobacteria. Now you may remember from one of my earlier videos, actually one of my earliest videos, where I ended up trying to get rid of phosphates using a phosphate remover. Now, it did get rid of the phosphates, but it didn't do anything for my cyanobacteria colony problem. So that was really unfortunate. I think I will end up actually buying another one in the future just in case, but it got rid of the phosphates, but it didn't actually get rid of my cyanobacteria problem. So, well, that's why I'm hoping that this ends up helping that. And even if it doesn't, honestly, this is still going to be a great upgrade for the saltwater aquarium because it'll help keep the water even more healthy, which I think is going to be super important for Dory because I've noticed lately that Dory is having patches on her forehead, and that is not a good sign. So we're going to hope that this makes the water a little bit easier for her. Next on our list is one of my favorite filters on the entire market, and I will do a whole separate video about these bad boys. But Fluval Aqua Clears are by far my favorite filter to use for any aquarium of almost any size below 125 gallons, honestly. And I bought this for the goldfish aquarium because when I came home, again, from Vietnam, if you watched that video, I'm going to leave it up here in the corner or down in the description below. I came home to my goldfish tank looking rancid. And I don't want that to happen again. And I think one of the main reasons why it was so rancid was because the filter that we have in there is super old. And it's only rated for a 10-gallon aquarium. Now, this is a filter that I had when I first initially bought these goldfish because it was all I could afford at the time. It was super cheap, and now the price is starting to pay for itself because, as you can see in this video, the filter is not pumping out hardly any water. It is just not moving. I've cleared out the motor, I've cleaned out the tube, I've done everything that I can, but it just does not move water anymore. So that's why I went ahead and bought this, because this is rated for between 20 to 50, and luckily for us, that fits within the range of the goldfish tank. So, we got two new upgrades for the saltwater and the goldfish tank, and let's go install them right now. So immediately upon inspecting the Fluval Aqua Clear, I immediately know exactly what I'm getting because I run the exact same filter on my 10-gallon tank. I was already aware about the sponge, the carbon filter, and the ceramic rings. This is all very familiar to me, and I am loving it. The only thing that I'm not very keen on is the fact that they seem to have given us only about half of what I would need in order to keep this tank running really good. Now, maybe this will be good for a normal tank, but these are goldfish, so we're gonna go the extra mile. I'm gonna invest a couple more dollars into buying a second set of ceramic balls for this filter, and then it should be good to go. But the most important thing that we gotta remember whenever we're installing a new filter is to wash the carbon before we put the carbon into the filter, which I have already done. And we also need to remember not to cut off the bag where I think it's gonna be, because it may be cut off too much and then I'll not be able to put in as many ceramic balls as I want. But overall, your pretty standard AquaClear filter equipment. Nothing really to say here. I may do a video, like I said, I may do a video on these in the future, but I'm not gonna be teaching you how to actually put these together. It's very self-explanatory, but I just love these filters, guys. I mean, they're incredible filters. If you don't have one, I highly recommend getting one. I mean, this is already kind of half turning into a review, but honestly, it's just all the benefits of a canister filter with the convenience of a hang-on back filter. You can't go wrong with these things. I'm serious. However, next comes the UVC light. And I personally have never actually used any of these, so I'm gonna kind of like go along with you guys and pop this open and see what's in it. Now, the first thing that actually stands out to me is this odd little hose. I had it in my mind that I was going to be cutting the PVC tubes inside of my aquarium and kind of like using half of the tube for this and half of the tube out of it. But it looks like that I'm not gonna have to do that, so that is going to save me some time. We can do this with just a screwdriver and this 2 screws provided, but if I were you, I would also highly recommend getting a drill with a drill bit to drill into your aquarium. It will make the process much easier, as it was for me. And then I'm gonna kind of do a little tutorial on how I did this. So the first thing that I did was I went ahead and connected the hose to the UVC line clarifier, and then I used that as a general guidance for where I wanted to put the UVC clarifier. And then after that, I went ahead and took my drill and I drilled a couple of holes where the screws are going to be holding the UVC filter. And then from there, it was simply a matter of taking a screwdriver, taking the nails, driving them in, and then holding them in place. From there, we can go ahead and securely attach both the old pipe and the new flexi pipe onto the UVC filter. And we got to make sure that these are extremely watertight. We do not want any water seeping at any point in this thing. After a quick little test with the water, we went ahead and made sure that there was no leaks happening. As you can see, the light is green. It is good to go. The water is leaving the filter, entering the UVC clarifier, leaving the UVC clarifier, and entering my aquarium. And there doesn't seem to be any leaks happening as far as I can tell. So we'll have this running for about a month. We'll see if the cyanobacteria colonies are affected by it, and we'll see just how healthy the tank can get from this clarifier. Alright, so now we are back down here to talk a little bit about my experience. Well, as you guys know, I personally still love this thing. This thing is going to come in clutch for the goldfish. Super nice, convenient, powerful. You can't go wrong. I will make a full review on these things in a future video, but for now, this is definitely going to be a background thing. I think maybe one of these days I'll have a shelf and I'll kind of like maybe feature it up here or something like that, or maybe off to the side. But I will definitely have this featured. I think for now I'll have it kind of featured right here off to the side. As for the UVC clarifier, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it was pretty easy to install. So for now, I think I'll go ahead and leave that over here. That way I kind of have like 2 product brands that I'm kind of holding on to for some reason. I don't know, I just need some more decorations, okay? Anyways, yeah, that was pretty much it. Just installing a couple of things that I think will be great upgrades for my tank. If you found this video entertaining and educational, please remember to subscribe to my channel for future videos. Feel free to give the video a like or a dislike, it does not matter, and make sure that I know what I'm doing that you guys like or don't like so I can improve on future content. And probably most importantly, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of Fluval AquaClears and what your thoughts are on the UVC filter. Is it going to clear up my cyanobacteria, or did I waste my money? We'll find out in about a month on this thing. As for this thing, I have high hopes and I'm very excited for it. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and I'll see you in a future video.